All right, knock knock, it's your Uncle Bob. Welcome back to Books I Will Never Read Again, the show where I read absolute garbage so you don't have to. And today, oh boy, today we've got a real piece of work. It's called The Sublime Object of Ideology by a fella named Slavoj Žižek. Just saying that name is an adventure. You feel that? That's the feeling of your brain cells preparing for battle. Let's get into it.
Right out of the gate, he hits us with this gem. He's saying Jane Austen, bonnets, tea, people being secretly in love for 300 pages, is secretly the same as some German philosopher named Hegel. Hegel's whole deal was that reality is just one big cosmic brain thinking about itself. And this numbskull thinks that's what's happening when Mr. Darcy is being a moody rich guy. That's like saying your toaster is a metaphor for the Industrial Revolution. Go outside, man. Seriously.
So we've identified the species. We are dealing with another big-brain goofball. You know the type. Thinks being impossible to understand is the same thing as being a genius. But hey, don't you worry your pretty little heads. I've tangled with bigger knuckle-draggers than this guy. Let's see what this punk-ass nerd is actually trying to pull on us.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. The Enlightenment? Newton discovering gravity, the invention of, rights? The whole idea that we can use logic to make the world not suck? He's comparing that to Jacques Lacan, a psychoanalyst whose main point was that you're basically a confused meat puppet driven by desires you stole from somebody else. So the philosophy of reason will save us leads directly to the philosophy of you don't even know why you wanted that croissant. That's not the next step in human thought, pal. That's falling down the stairs and landing in a puddle of your own tears.
And here it is. This is my professional take on the whole operation. This dingbat is just trying way too hard. I can see him now, little kid in the back of the class, hand shooting up. Actually, teacher, Goldilocks' invasion of the bear's home represents a colonialist usurpation of the indigenous, that kid, the one who got invited to exactly 0 birthday parties.
All right, everybody, deep breath. We are now heading into the jargon swamp. This is my favorite part of any academic book. It's where the author decides regular words are for peasants and starts inventing his own, or just borrowing fancy-sounding ones from French. It's an intimidation tactic, pure and simple.
First up, we got le trait unité. Look at that, so fancy. All that means is a stereotype. It's when you take a whole complicated thing and boil it down to one feature, like how your uncle is just the guy who talks about his boat. That's it. That's the mind-blowing idea he needed fancy French for. Hey, Slavoj, congratulations, you've invented labels.
And what have we here? The point de capiton. He says it means upholstery button, like on a fancy couch. His big idea is that every belief system has a key word, like freedom or family, that pins everything together and stops the whole lumpy cushion of ideas from falling apart. It's not a bad metaphor, I guess, until you realize he's just spent 10 pages explaining that political movements are basically furniture.
Oh, just read this thing. It's a word salad with extra dressing. He twists your brain into a pretzel with his gobbledygook, and then he has the nerve to add at the end, makes the understanding of this expression so difficult. You think? You think stringing together a bunch of nonsense might be hard to read? That's the smartest thing you've said so far. It's like punching yourself in the face and then saying, wow, this hurts.
So let's translate this whole section for you. This is what's really going on. He's not trying to explain anything. He's trying to make you feel like a moron, so you'll just nod and agree. All this jargon is a smokescreen. It's the intellectual equivalent of jingling keys in front of a baby. He's hoping you're too distracted by the shiny words to notice he's not actually saying anything.
You know what? If he wants to ruin philosophy, fine. It was already pretty ruined. But this is where I draw the line. This is where Uncle Bob gets personally offended. Because this cheese blockhead is coming for the movies. He's taking perfectly good entertainment and slathering it with his intellectual goo. And that, my friends, is a declaration of war. He goes on and on about the movie Titanic. Now, we all saw it. It's about a big boat, a big chunk of ice, and a tragedy that happened because some doofus wasn't looking where he was going. Simple. But to this guy, oh no. The iceberg represents the real, the traumatic core of existence that shatters our symbolic reality. Buddy, it was ice. The only traumatic core of existence in that movie was the fact that Rose absolutely could have made room for Jack on that door. We all saw it. And he doesn't stop with Titanic. Oh no, He goes after Hitchcock, Woody Allen. He even comes for Alien, the movie about the scary space monster. Apparently, the xenomorph isn't just a monster. It's the maternal superego. It's your mom nagging you from beyond the stars. Nothing is safe. No movie you've ever loved is safe from being dissected by this bicycle seat sniffer.
That's it. We've reached the final straw. You can mess with philosophy, you can overanalyze movies, but there is one line you do not cross. And this absolute nitwit, he just waltzed right over it. He committed the cardinal sin, the one unforgivable crime. He explained a joke.
So he digs up this little story from Kafka, which, let's be honest, is already not exactly a laugh riot. It's about a guy who wastes his entire life waiting to get through a door. Not funny, just sad. And what does our boy Zizek do? He straps this poor little story to a gurney and performs a 20-page autopsy on it, explaining every little symbol until there's nothing left but a sad, twitching corpse of a story.
So I have to ask, what was the point of all that? The story is about how bureaucracy chews you up and spits you out. We get it. It's Kafka. That's his whole thing. Did we really need a guy with 3 PhDs to tell us that? What are you adding here? Besides a bunch of extra pages and a headache.
You did it, Slavoj. You took a weird, sad little story and you murdered it. You're a comedy serial killer. You just can't let anything be. You have to take it apart until it's just a pile of gears and springs on the floor. Are you happy now? Is this what fun looks like to you? You monster. Folks, I'm not gonna lie. This book it's doing something to me. My brain feels like it's been put in a blender. I came in here strong, ready to fight, but after hundreds of pages of this stuff, it's like a computer virus. It's getting in. I think I might be losing.
Just listen to this. A madman who believes himself to be a king is no more mad than a king who believes himself to be a king. So, okay, the madman is crazy because he thinks he's a king. But wait, a king is only a king because everybody else agrees he's a king. It's just a shared idea, a story we all tell ourselves. So the king is also believing in a story, just like the madman.
Wait a second. Hold on. That almost may— No! It's a trap. That's how he gets you. He beats you into submission with 200 pages of nonsense, then he lobs one sentence at you that sounds kinda sorta smart, and your exhausted brain just grabs onto it. It's a trick. It's a profound-sounding trap set by a piss clown. Get out of my head, you wizard!
And then he hits me with this, the knockout punch. Reality is for those who cannot support the dream. That's it. I'm done. That's the kind of thing you read on a poster with a picture of an eagle on it. It's game over. You win, Slavoj. You've broken me.
That's it. That's my review. 2 words.
My official rating is 1 star, and that 1 star is purely for the effort. Do not read this book. Unless someone is pointing a gun at you, do not read this book. My advice, from the bottom of my heart, is to leave this author and his ideas alone. Buzz off, you silly goose. Here's what you should do instead. Go watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon. I guarantee you, the logic of Bugs Bunny sawing off the state of Florida makes more sense and will teach you more about the world than anything in this book. And you'll have a better time.
I need to go stare at a blank wall for a few hours. Uncle Bob out.